here today with my new channel, Reads by M&M, and I am about to show you my bookshelf tour. I haven't done one of these for a couple of years now, and I've acquired quite a few books, so I'm going to jump right into this because we have a lot to get through. So for my 3 big shelves, this is what they look like. I got all the shelves at IKEA, and my books are sorted alphabetically by author's last name. Okay, so starting out on the top shelf here, The Spirit Thief by Rachel Aaron, Thanks for the Memories by Cecilia Ahern, A Place Called Here by Cecilia Ahern, Night Shifted by Cassie Alexander, A Book of Russian Fairy Tales, The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander, Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson, Forge by Laurie Halse Anderson, Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini, Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout, The Reckoning by Kelly Armstrong, Bitten by Kelly Armstrong, Stolen by Kelly Armstrong, Industrial Magic by Kelly Armstrong, A Woman in Berlin, 8 Weeks in the Conquered City, A Diary by Anonymous, The Amityville Horror, A True Story by Jay Anson, The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler, Everneath by Brody Ashton, missing the dust cover, The Den of Shadows Quartet by Amelia Atwater Rhodes, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Wonder Woman Volume 1, Blood by Brian Azzarello, Cliff Chiang, and Tony Akins, Tuesday's Child by Louise Bagshaw, The Possessed, Adventures with Russian Books and the People Who Read Them by Elif Batuman, When Blood Calls by J.K. Beck, The Extraordinary Secrets of April, May, and June by Robin Benway, The Palace of Laughter and the Lightning Key by John Berkeley, and The Templar Legacy by Steve Barry. Moving on to the second shelf, The Alexandria Link, The Charlemagne Pursuit, The Emperor's Tomb, and The Romanov Prophecy, all by Steve Barry, The Penderwicks by Jeanne Birdsall, Anna Dressed in Blood and The Girl of Nightmares by Ken Blake, The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley, My Bookie Book by Russell Brand, Going Bovine by Libba Bray, The Demon's Lexicon by Sarah Reese Brennan, the second book in the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd by Heather Brewer, Mooncalled by Patricia Briggs, Bloodbound by Patricia Briggs, Wolfsbane by Patricia Briggs, and Masks by Patricia Briggs. That is not an easy name to say. Born to Darkness by Suzanne Brockman, The Orenda by Joseph Boyden, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, I Boy by Kevin Brooks, Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, The Sisters Grimm. We have The Fairy Tale Detectives and The Unusual Suspects, both by Michael Buckley, Time Travelers and The Time Quake, both by Linda Buckley Archer. And then on the end we have Post Office by Charles Bukowski. Okay, so moving on to shelf number 3. The Master and the Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov, The Nanny Files by Christian Birch, Shadow Cry by Jenna Burtonshaw, The Airhead series by Meg Cabot, Airhead being Nikki, and Runaway, The Princess Diaries, and Princess in the Spotlight, also by Meg Cabot. Ill Wind by Rachel Kane, He's Gone by Deb Coletti, The Secret Life of Prince Charming by Deb Coletti, Tattooed by Pamela Callow, Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card, Shadow Puppets by Orson Scott Card, The Memory of Earth by Orson Scott Card, and Empire by Orson Scott Card. I have 2 versions of Alice in Wonderland, and this one has Through the Looking Glass, both by Lewis Carroll, The Goddess Test and The Goddess Inheritance by Amy Carter. Then we have the Gallagher Girl series, I Tell You I Love You, But Then I'd Have to Kill You, Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy, Don't Judge a Girl by Her Cover, Only the Good Spy Young, and Out of Sight, Out of Mind, all by Allie Carter, The Selection by Kira Cass, Marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, Kisses from Hell by Kristen Cast, Alison Noel, Kelly Armstrong, Rochelle Mead, and Francesca Leah Bloch. The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton, The Hidden World and the Museum Secret by Henry Chancellor, Flawless by Lara Chapman, and The Hollow by Agatha Christie. Moving on to the 4th shelf, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, Clockwork Princess, all by Cassandra Clare. It's Not Really About the Hair by Tabitha Coffey, which is the only signed book that I own. One of my absolute favorites, The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. We have my Artemis Fowl series, Artemis Fowl, The Arctic Incident, The Eternity Code, The Lost Colony, The Opal Deception, and The Time Paradox, which is missing the dust jacket, and they're all by Eowyn Colfer. Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane by Suzanne Collins, Gregor and the Curse of the Warmblood, and Gregor and the Code of Claw. Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. How to Love by Katie Contugno. Eleanor Rigby by Douglas Coupland. Player One by Douglas Coupland. Pirate Latitudes by Michael Crichton. Jurassic Park, Le Monde Perdu is by Gail Herman. The Passage by Justin Cronin. Tempest by Julie Cross. The Girl in the Steel Corset by Katie Cross. And The Girl in the Clockwork Collar by Katie Cross. The Silent Sea and Trojan Odyssey by Clive Cussler. And two Roald Dahl books, The Twits and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Okay, so on this shelf we have Croak by Gina D'Amico. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. The Infinity Ring Book 1, A Mutiny in Time by James Dashner. The Au Pairs by Melissa Delacruz. La Misterieuse Biblioteca by Dominique Demer. Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Denner. Posh and Prejudice by Grace Dent. The Body Finder by Kimberly Durty. Extensions by Myrna Day. The Body Book by Cameron Diaz. The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens. Volume 1 of the Complete Novels and Stories of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Rover Saves Christmas by Roddy Doyle. Then I have this box set of the Magic Tales by Edward Eager. Half Magic, Knight's Castle, Magic by the Lake, The Time Garden, Magic or Not, The Well-Wishers, and 7-Day Magic. Forget You by Jennifer Eccles. Love Story by Jennifer Eccles. Angel Fall and World After by Susan E. A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer E. Gann. Chain Reaction by Simone Alcalez. High Five by Janet Ivanovich. Living the Good Life, Your Guide to Health and Success by David Patchell Evans. This is the guy who owns Good Life gyms. Jessica's Guide to Dating on the Dark Side, as well as Jessica Rules the Dark Side, both by Beth Fantasky. Jekyll Loves Hyde by Beth Fantasky. The Air Affair by Jasper Ford, and White Oleander by Janet Fitch. On to the last shelf of my first shelf. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Bunheads by Sophie Flack. Some of the Ranger's Apprentice series. This one is Book 2, The Burning Bridge. Book 3, The Icebound Land. Book 7, Iraq's Ransom. And Book 8, The Kings of Clonmel. These are by John Flanagan. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. Inkheart and Inkspell by Cornelia Funk. Coraline by Neil Gaiman. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. Beautiful Creatures and Beautiful Chaos by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. The Palace of Curiosities by Rosie Garland. Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. Lockdown, Escape from Furnace by Alexander Gordon-Smith. Half-World and Darkest Light by Hiromi Goto. Chorus of Mushrooms by Hiromi Goto. And we have the Evernight series. Evernight, Stargazer, Hourglass, and Afterlife. Those are all by Claudia Gray. And Zodiac by Robert Graysmith. Okay, so now we're on to the beginning of the white shelf. Queen Takes King by Gigi Levangie Grazer. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Will Grayson by John Green. The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. 2 copies of The Red Queen by Philippa Gregory. The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. And Changeling by Philippa Gregory. Snow White, illustrated by Camille Rose Garcia. Marley and Me by John Grogan. Dearly Departed by Leah Habel. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. A Spot of Bother by Mark Haddon. The Radleys by Matt Haig. Samuel Blink and the Runaway Troll by Matt Haig. Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. The Southern Vampires Sookie Stackhouse series. Dead Until Dark by Charlene Harris. Club Dead. Dead as a Doornail. Another Dead as a Doornail. Dead to the World. And Dead Reckoning, all by Charlene Harris. Then A Bone to Pick by Charlene Harris. Chocolat by Joanne Harris. Every Which Way But Dead by Kim Harrison. The Last Child by John Hart. Crash and Burn by Michael Hassan. This old movie edition of Clockstoppers. Moving on to shelf number 2. The Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom by Christopher Healy. The Eyeball Collector and the Lunatic's Curse, both by F.E. Higgins. The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith. Slayers by C.J. Hill. Horns by Joe Hill. Lock and Key Volume 1 by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Fearscape by Simon Holt. Stormbreaker by Anthony Horowitz. Point Blank by Anthony Horowitz. Skeleton Key by Anthony Horowitz, and Scorpia by Anthony Horowitz. Tiger's Curse by Colin Hooke, Wool by Hugh Howey, Lemonade Mouth by Mark Peter Hughes, Awake at Dawn by C.C. Hunter, Book 1 in the Warriors Into the Wild by Aaron Hunter, Precious Blood by Tanya Hurley, Monster Mission by Eva Ibbotson, The Beast of Clawstone Castle by Eva Ibbotson, as well as Dial a Ghost by Eva Ibbotson. When We Were Orphans by Kazuo Ishiguro, and Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. The next ones are all in the Redwall series: Mossflower, Matameo, Mariel of Redwall, Salamandastron, March and the Warrior, and Outcasts of Redwall. Okay, so moving on to third. We have more of the Redwall series: Marl Fox, Lord Brocktree, and The Tiger Run, all by Brian Jack. The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. An old copy of Fix Your Volkswagen by Larry Johnson. My Boyfriends. The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson. Captivate by Carrie Jones. Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. Fraggle Rock's classic graphic novel. This is by Stan Kay and Mary Severin. Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis. We have my Stephen King novels: Carrie, The Dark Half, Pet Cemetery, The Shining, From a Buick 8, and Everything is Eventual. Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. Moonglass by Jesse Kirby. The Clockwork 3 by Matthew J. Kirby. Magic Keepers: The Eternal Hourglass by Erica Kirov. Ophelia by Lisa Klein. Enchanted by Alethea Contis. The Secret Daughter of the Tsar by Jennifer Lamb. His Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. Only You: Four Romantic Stories by Sally Lady, Lori Love, Deborah White-Smith, and Kathleen Yap. Defending Jacob by William Landy. And The Young Sherlock Holmes Black Ice by Andrew Lane. So fourth shelf down: To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. The Agency by Y.S. Lee. The Chronicles of Narnia Bind Up by C.S. Lewis. House of Dark Shadows by Robert Leparulo. The King's Speech: How One Man Saved the British Monarchy by Mark Logue and Peter Conradi. Guilt by Catherine Longshore. The Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Legend by Marie Lu. The Star Wars Trilogy. Rotten Rune by Jonathan Mayberry. Fingerprints of You by Kristen Page Madonna. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. Vie et les Extraterrestres by Henriette Major. A Fool's Gold Christmas by Susan Mallory. Three Sisters by Susan Mallory. Spa Wars by Chris Manby. Finnegan of the Rock by Melina Marchetta. Beauté Monstre by Carmen Marois. Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Reminder by Melissa Marr. Love is Hell, stories from Melissa Marr, Scott Westerfeld, Justine Larbalestier, Gabrielle Zevin, and Lori Faria Stolars. Have the Song of Ice and Fire series, A Game of Thrones, the second book, A Clash of Kings, and the fifth book, A Dance with Dragons. The Romanovs, The Final Chapter by Robert K. Massey, and Starry Starry Night by Lurleen McDaniel. Down here we have more Lurleen McDaniel, Lifted Up by Angels, Angels in Pink, Holly's Story, and Time to Let Go. The Road by Cormac McCarthy, Atonement by Ian McEwan, Spin by Catherine McKenzie, Stories from the Cafe, 10th Anniversary Edition by Stuart McLean, Dragon Seer by Janet McNaughton, Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead, Wildwood by Colin Malloy, Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, and New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner by Stephanie Meyer. Dark Fever and Blood Fever by Karen Marie Moaning. Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. A Dirty Job and Practical Demon Keeping by Christopher Moore. How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. Dead Island by Mark Morris. The Last Romanoff by Dora Levy-Mossanen. Fablehaven Rise of the Evening Star, and Fablehaven Grip of the Shadow Plague, all by Brandon Mall.
Are you trying to be in Mom's video? Huh? What do you want?
Then we have my Haruki Murakami books, After Dark, Norwegian Wood, and The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, Bringing Down the House by Ben Mesrich, and The Eternal Ones by Kirsten Miller. On to the last shelf. Number 9 Dream by David Mitchell, Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell, Sutton by J.R. Moringer, Bran Hambrick, The Spectre Key by Caleb Nation. This is the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men. More Than This by Patrick Ness, The Billionaire's Curse by Richard Newsom, Strands of Bronze and Gold by Jane Nickerson, The Romantics by, I never want to say this name, Galt Niederhofer. The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. The Sabriel series by Garth Nix. We have Sabriel, Lyriel, and Abhorsen. 40 Below, which is an anthology of Edmonton's Winters. His Majesty's Dragon and Emperor of Ivory, both by Naomi Novik. The Gravedigger's Daughter by Joyce Carol Oates. The Tiger's Wife by Thea Obrecht. Books 1, 2, and 3 in the Archaeologisters series, and this is by Andreas Oratel. The first volume of Death Note by Segumi Oba and Takeshi Obata. Delirium and Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. And Spindlers by Lauren Oliver. Okay, and now we are at the top of the third shelf. Liesl and Poe by Lauren Oliver. The Adventure Time Encyclopedia. Volumes 2 and 3 in the Scott Pilgrim series by Brian Lee O'Malley. In the Skin of a Lion by Michael Ondaatje. The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje. The Dark Knight, which is based on the movie, by Dennis O'Neil. This Dark Endeavor by Kenneth Opel. Everything is Perfect When You're a Liar by Kelly Oxford. Un Squelette Sans Chapeau by C. Claire Mallet. Aragon by Christopher Paolini. Eldest by Christopher Paolini. This is a bind-up of the first 3 Sweet Valley High books by Francine Pascal. We have Double Love, Secrets, and Playing with Fire. I also have number 6, which is Dangerous Love, and then a Christmas edition, which is just called Special Christmas. Revived by Kat Patrick. Witch and Wizard by James Patterson. Sunday at Tiffany's by James Patterson. Venom by Fiona Paul. 3/4 Dead by Richard Peck. Film by Marisha Pessel. My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. Trickster's Choice and Trickster's Queen, both by Tamara Pierce. Wings by April Lynn Pike. Dead City by James Ponti, missing the dust jacket. Johnny and the Dead by Terry Pratchett. The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass, all by Philip Pullman. Second shelf on this side, we have Mothstorm by Philip Reeve, Deja Dead by Kathy Reichs, Devil's Bones by Kathy Reichs. On the bright side, I'm now the girlfriend of a sex god. Away Laughing on a Fast Camel. Then He Ate My Boy Entrancers, all by Louise Renison. Across the Universe by Beth Revis. The Emperor in Paris by C.S. Richardson. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Murder at the Academy Awards by Joan Rivers with Jerry Lynn Farmer. The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson, as well as The Best Halloween Ever by Barbara Robinson. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I only have 1 to 4 in the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, The Prisoner of Azkaban, and The Goblet of Fire, all by J.K. Rowling. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Book 2 in the Infinity Ring, Divide and Conquer by Carrie Ryan. Holes by Louis Sacher. This is the Dante Valentine Complete Series by Lilith St. Croix. Year of the Black Rainbow by Claudio Sanchez and Peter David. La Marque du Dragon by Jocelyn Saint-Chagrin. Cleopatra by Stacy Schiff. The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. The Necromancer by Michael Scott. White Crow by Marcus Sedgwick. Midwinter Blood by Marcus Sedgwick. Shanghai Girls by Lisa C. And Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. Moving on to the third shelf, Cirque de Free, Hunters of the Dusk, The Lake of Souls, and The Lord of the Shadows, all by Darren Shan. And the first 2 books in the saga of Larton Crepsley, Birth of a Killer and Ocean of Blood, also by Darren Shan. Then we have my Pretty Little Liars series, Pretty Little Liars, Unbelievable, Killer, Wicked, Heartless, all by Sarah Shepard. The Darkest Night by Gina Showalter. Bruiser by Neil Schusterman. The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. The Rosie Project by Graham Simsian. The Marbury Lens by Andrew Smith. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. Wreck This Journal by Carrie Smith. The Awakening and the Struggle, and then The Return and Shadow Souls by L.J. Smith. N.W. by Zadie Smith. Shade by Jerry Smith Reddy. Anatomy of a Boyfriend and Anatomy of a Single Girl by Darius Nadowski. The Bad Beginning and The Miserable Mill by Lemony Snicket. Random Magic by Sasha Soren. The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks, Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli, Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood, The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman, and one of my absolute favorite books, The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. Okay, so on this shelf, we have East of Eden by John Steinbeck, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, The Emerald Atlas by John Stevens, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by R.L. Stevenson, The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart, The Help by Catherine Stockett, Time Between Us by Tamara Ireland Stone, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, and this is by Matthew Stover, Volume 1 and 2 in the Sailor Moon series by Naoko Takeuchi, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor, Elegance by Kathleen Tesaro, The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp, Oppression by Jessica Therian, Our Tragic Universe by Scarlett Thomas, and The End of Mr. Y by Scarlett Thomas, Immortal Beloved by Kate Tiernan, the first bind-up of the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan. This is Book 1, 2, 3, Book of Shadows, The Coven, and Blood Witch. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. We have the Lord of the Rings series, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. And I also have the Lord of the Rings in the really massive bind-up. This Lynx by Tatiana Tolstaya, translated by Jamie Gambrell. Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by April Genevieve Tucole. The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. And Deathless by Catherine M. Valente. Here we have The Merciless by Danielle Vega. Get your tail out of my way. Know and Me by Daphne de Vigan. If I Die by Rachel Vincent. Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. The Untold Story of Hero and Charlie, which is a hero's novel by Ori Wallington. The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. A Witch in Winter by Ruth Warburton. Lover Eternal by J.R. Ward. The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. The Golem and the Jinni by Helene Wecker. The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Salem on Trial by David Cody Weiss and Bobby J.G. Weiss. The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. Paranormalcy by Kirsten White, as well as An Arc of Endlessly by Kirsten White. The Mockingbirds by Daisy Whitney. The Gatecrasher by Madeline Wickham. Night by Eli Wiesel, or Wiesel, I'm not too sure how to say that. Oscar Wilde's Fairy Tales. Little House on the Prairie. I found this at Valley Village in the exact same copy I had when I was a young girl, so I was very excited about that. And this is by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Fables, Volume 1, Legends in Exile by Bill Willingham, Lan Medina, Steve Lealoha, and Craig Hamilton. Everything Asian by Sung Jae Woo. Choker by Elizabeth Woods. Story of Edgar Sawtelle by David Oblewski, missing the dust jacket. The Kraken Wakes and The Chrysalids, both by John Wyndham. The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates. Blood Red Road by Maura Young. And The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. On to our last shelf of the tour. The Replacement by Brenna Yovanoff. All These Things I've Done by Gabrielle Zevin. Elsewhere by Gabrielle Zevin. And then everything else is by Cicely von Zygeiser. I'm not going to pull them all out. I'm just going to name them. We have the Gossip Girl series, the Gossip Girl Carlisles, and the It Girl. Gossip Girl, You Know You Love Me. All I Want Is Everything. I Like It Like That. You're the One That I Want. Nobody Does It Better. Nothing Can Keep Us Together. Only in Your Dreams Would I Lie to You, and Don't Forget About Me. And the Gossip Girl prequel, It Had to Be You. Gossip Girl, The Carlisles. And this one is Take a Chance on Me. Cum Laude. Not sure how to say that one. And then these are the It Girls. So Lucky, Tempted, Infamous, Adored, Devious, and Classic. And then at the end here I have a little lantern from IKEA. That was my bookshelf tour, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not too sure if I'll be making videos regularly. I just really wanted to get this up as I haven't done one in a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and you might see me in another video. Bye guys!